Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Hey, what's up? This is Kyle Pfeiffer from Blacklite District, and you are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
The views and opinions of the guest do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather, and as always, I bring you guys awesome interviews, and today it is an honor and privilege to have Mr. Kyle Pfeiffer. He is from the Blacklite District, and we're going to be talking to him about their new album that's getting ready to come out, To Whom It May Concern. It comes out this fall. It's the follow-up to Worldwide Controversy. So, Kyle, how's it going, my man?
Hey, man. How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you on here. Glad to have you on here for sure. What's impressed you the most about making the new album, To Whom It May Concern? What's caught your eye most about it?
Well, I'd say we got to have a lot more of a hand, and me specifically in the production. And, here in the Quad Cities where we base half the time, I have my own studio here. Mm-hmm. So we basically produce everything here and then send it out for mix, and we do different mixes. So I think this time, and another thing is taking, we took as much time as we really wanted on this. It took a while, but it's been a great process, and I'm excited to move forward this way.
Are you guys working with the same producer from Worldwide Controversy, or is it someone else? Let's talk about this a little bit.
Well, we're not working with him. That was Brett Hesla, who did our last record down in Florida. Killer producer, killer musician, man. We wrote a lot of things together. So this time, we had some bad management and record deals with that. So it kind of forced us to move in a new direction. Producing a lot of this ourselves and working different sounds, a lot of electronic, a lot of hip-hop stuff in there, alternative. So we're kind of all across the board. So definitely been different, but we're stoked about it.
So doing it your own self is going to give you guys more freedom and more productive to get out there.
Oh, yeah, totally. We get to work on our own schedule. We just had a single out which hit the top 100 of the Billboard mainstream rock charts, all produced ourselves. So we're getting ready to do another single next month, and we should be announcing a tour within a week or two. Just waiting on that. But, yeah, man, it's a new process for us, so it's very exciting and re-energizing, so to speak.
Any songs off this new album, Kyle, that stand out more to you, if any?
I would definitely say so. Our next single that we're putting out is called The Struggle. We've had to do 3 or 4 different mixes of it because the album version kind of came out like an alternative pop track, almost like a 21 Pilots or Imagine Dragons style, which is cool. We're not afraid to go different routes and try different things. Sometimes with a lot of the hard rock and metal acts, I wouldn't say metal, let's say the hard rock or quote active rock as they call it, a lot of that gets really boring to me. I mean, I don't like to just sit around and chug a drop C chord all day. So, there's a lot of electronic elements, just some killer beats and some dope melodies on it. So that one will be coming out soon, and I would say that's definitely a standout track for me. We wanted to take a risk with this as the single, so I guess we'll see what happens.
How much growth musically have you seen this band go through, the first CD, Worldwide Controversy, to this one, if you could compare them?
Oh, man, I'd say a lot of growth. I mean, if I was rated 1 to 10, I'd say definitely a 10, just due to the fact that and a lot of bands will say that our new album is the better one and heavier or more songwriting and stuff like that. But I can truly say that. I mean, if someone wants to A/B both these albums, you're going to hear nothing that sounds like the first one, even in terms of genre specific. I don't even know if you could call it hard rock. And then again, there's metal tracks. There's songs that have rapping. There's songs with beats and dubstep. It's really all across the board, like I said. So, and again, it's more about, instead of trying to sound like everyone and what's popular on the radio, it's very boring and if I had to be a quote active rock band, I don't even think I'd want to do it anymore. But this outlet gives us the creativity to do what we want to do and do it ourselves. And I think everyone's going to see what happens from now till the end of the year. So.
You know, man, Blacklite District's music is a flavor of electronic, hip-hop to hard rock and to alternative. Does it surprise you that your guys' music fits in all these categories across the board, being put in with these, other bands like this, man?
I would definitely say so. If you would have asked me 5 years ago, I would have never expected we'd have, all sorts of these elements in play. Because, obviously at heart we are hard rock dudes. We're metal guys. That's where we started from. Mm-hmm. I think it's just because we have a single called With Me Now, which was our top 40 hit on Billboard and stuff like that, and even that had a little bit electronic laden stuff on it. So I think, again, just the growth of musicianship and just where we want to be and not trying to follow everyone else in the rock world.
There you go.
It's great that we can fit all that because, look at a band like 21 Pilots. Love them or hate them, the guys are selling out the Garden. They're top 10 on all formats all across the board. And to me, it's why not reach a wider audience? And we're not doing it just to do that. We're doing it because it's what we want. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So little things like that, that really push it forward for us.
What do you hope the fans take away from the new album once they start listening to this, man? What do you hope that they get from it?
Well, I hope that they get the sense that if this is something real, this is the real deal. It's like a no bullshit, no holds barred cut at what we are and who we are, and every song has a story, and I would like to think that someone can relate to something on there. Some people are going to hate it for sure because it's not metal. That's okay with me. A lot more people are going to like it perhaps because it has so many new age sounds, and we're just going with the times, man. We don't want to be behind the times. We always want to be on the cusp of moving ahead of the times and being a lot of our team, our team of people, like to say that we're a little ahead of the curve. So if we're ahead of the curve, I'm happy with that. You know what I mean?
I think everybody's digging it because, and I'll say that for 100%, because look at Hollywood Undead. Look what they're doing. They're playing these big rock festivals.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, shit, I've seen, there's a dude named Yellow Wolf that's on rock festivals. Machine Gun Kelly's on a lot of these rock festivals. And, I guess that's just kind of a sign of the times that really shows you that, if those guys, sure, they're not, let's say, hard rock per se, but they have the mindset, I guess you could say, and some of those different aspects that resonate with the crowd. And again, we're not totally 100% like pop act or something like that. A lot of these tracks are heavy. A lot of them are heavy in an alternative type way. So I guess it's just really, again, like I said, growing with the times and trying to look towards the future versus trying to fit the mold that's been around and to me is boring as shit for the last 15 years. So.
What can fans expect at a show from Blacklite District who have not got to see you guys yet?
Well, I tell you what, we haven't really announced how we're doing this. We've always toured as a band. You got a drummer, a bass player, a guitar player, and a singer. This time is going to be a lot different because you're not going to show up. You're going to show up expecting a rock show, and it will be a rock show. It's just going to be in a new age way. There might be a DJ on stage. There might be a keyboard on stage. Well, I was actually just thinking about this earlier. If I wanted to describe it, I would say it'd be the elements of an EDM show, an illegal underground LA rave, and a Metallica or Guns N' Roses show all combined into one for what I hope will be a very fun night for everybody, and everyone can let loose and just enjoy the show.
That's awesome. That's cool. You get everything in.
Well, again, we want to be different, and we're just writing from the heart and doing what. If I can get a synthesizer that I think sounds better than the same old guitar stuff, then we go for it, man. We're not afraid to take any chances, and I mean, it is the real deal, and I think everyone's going to see that over the next couple of months.
Hell yeah, break out the keytar. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, right.
Revenge of the Nerds, break that shit out.
Right. Right.
Do you guys prefer the digital era of recording the way it is now to get your albums out, or do you prefer to be in a studio? I know some prefer the digital because it's quicker and easier, but what do you prefer?
Well, I guess it's a double-edged sword. Our first EP we did probably 6-7 years ago, we went to a studio called Sonic Ranch Studios, which is the largest residential studio in the entire world right outside of Mexico.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
So we went there and did it, and it was a totally old school thing. We recorded a lot of things to tape. We had a really old school schedule. It was a 9 to 5 type recording process, which is cool. I think that that helped us kind of understand how it works from that point of view. Now, today, like I said, I have my own studio, and I have a couple studios in the area that I work at. I work with people there. I would say I much prefer doing it now just because in a situation like Sonic Ranch, you're on such a time constraint. The budgets are a lot bigger. I mean, honestly, I think we spent $25,000 recording the Sonic Ranch album, and it came out to 7 tracks that we had to record in 9 days. So,
wow.
You can take that as like an experience, which I definitely did, but I much more prefer doing what we do now just because of things like budgets, time constraints, to where we can do it on our pace and do what we want to do. You know what I mean, kind of like there?
Yeah.
It's just a double-edged sword. You get your experience from the old school way, but you continually to grow musically and production-wise how we do it now. But that's just my opinion. Some people might like the old school way more. I just prefer how it is now, personally. So
I totally get you. I mean, if you're going to pay $25,000 for 7 tracks and you can do it yourself,
yeah, right. And I think we sold 500 copies back then. So
yeah, geez, that
just shows you. And then again, on our last record, we can cut the costs of that, in half at least, and we end up selling 100,000 records. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Again, it's not really too much about. I think at the end, it all comes down to the music itself.
Sure.
And again, you can have a great record, but if you don't have the support behind you to get it to radio and really get it launched like we're about to do again, it's really hard to get heard nowadays because there's so much music out there, and but to get it heard on the mainstream stage, let's say, definitely takes a lot, so we're blessed to have that opportunity in front of us. So,
what does Blacklite District bring to the table for music that's not out there, man?
That's a good question. Well, I would say that combined with the live show and combined with the sounds of this record. Now, again, this record's not out yet.
Right.
We're planning release right now. We just had a single out. Now we're doing another single that we're going to consider the lead single and push. I think it's just going to be a nice flavor of something fresh, if I had to really say it. A lot of bands out there, when Godsmack came out, let's say in the late 90s or whatever, early
right.
90s, whatever it was, now everything on rock radio kind of sounds like that, doesn't it? With those drop C chords. I mean, I would think people get fucking bored with that. Mm-hmm. And I've been bored with that for years. So my record's probably my favorite record to listen to right now, just because of how different it is. And I like to think that we write songs that I would want to hear. And if someone likes to go to a rock show, great, come out and see us. If you want to go to a club and dance, the ladies are dancing, come see us. You know what I mean? All across the board, then. So,
I mean, I hear it every day. I do. I do a show, so
yep.
There's a couple bands out there that catch your eye and ear real quick. But you're right, a lot of it just seems like it's hurried up and put out, and it's like just slow down.
Yep. Totally, man. You would know, especially with your show.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, man. You probably. And we're not name dropping it, but I'm sure there's a couple you hear that get kind of boring, and then I'm sure there's stuff you get that's killer. You know what I mean? So I guess it really just what hits the listener first.
What made you want to become a musician? What was that spark for you that said that's what I want to do?
Well, I was about 9 or 10 years old, and I was going to the gym with my uncle, and he's a huge rocker, 80s dude. And he was playing me Ozzy Osbourne's No More Tears album. And for some reason, that song just caught me off guard. And I asked him to play it again. And as soon as I got home that day, I started searching up Ozzy on the internet. And then just the stories I started reading and the music itself. And I just felt like, you know what? Even at that young age, I was like, this is what I want to do. And I'd say no more than a year or two later, 11 years old, we played our first show as little kids at a coffee shop, which probably sucked. But, man, we were having the time of our lives, and I'm lucky to say that, over 15 years later, I get to do this for a living now. It's a mixture of all those things, from the music to the behind-the-scenes stories and the shit that went down with a lot of those acts from back then. So, I guess just me, I guess a big part of it, I'm sure a lot of people is, hopefully, maybe we'll get the chance to leave our little footnote in the history books of music somewhere sometime. So it's really all about that legacy, I guess you could say, nowadays.
What's it mean to you when you receive an email from a fan or prior to your shows or after your shows? They come and they tell you, say, hey, like your music has, pulled them through a tough time. It's gave them inspiration. to overcome obstacles or just, escape everyday reality with everything that we go through. What's that mean to you guys for your music?
Man, it really means a lot. We had this chick in, I think we were in Scottsdale, Arizona, and we were selling VIP tickets on the tour, and she was the first one that bought a VIP ticket. And she told us that she was a cancer patient, and during her radiation, she kept hearing us on Sirius XM Octane, which is a big rock channel.
Right.
And she said she kept hearing it, and she said that helped her through that, I think I said radiation. I think chemotherapy. She said it helped her through that chemo so much, it made her inspired to not be worried or scared and to just fight on. And I think that was really touching. It really, it almost makes you feel like, like your music and what we do serves a purpose in a way, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It really makes it seem like, okay, and, that's just one of many stories. That was just the first one that really touched me that shows that, you know what, we must be doing something right, and if people can get that feeling from our stuff, then I think we're on the right track, and we couldn't be happier to have people feel that way. I guess at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, too. So
I just want to say thank you guys for your music first and foremost, and keep doing what you're doing because it's definitely different, and that's what we need for sure.
Hey, bro, I appreciate shows like you that give artists like us a chance, and I think together we can all grow, and let's take it to the top, huh?
Yep, that's what I've always said. I've always said I want to be just a little voice for unknown bands that don't get a chance, and that's what I'm here for. So
for sure, man.
For you guys, when will this album come out? I know it's going to be the fall. Do you know specifically when? Possibly give a little hint.
I wish I knew. I wish I could tell everyone, but I have no clue. We're continually working on a plan. It's going to be in the fall sometime after the summer for sure. Mm-hmm. I guess it's just all figuring out, if we got a couple deals in place, what really we want to do. But I would imagine in the next couple of weeks that will be out for sure. BlacklightDistrict.com and Facebook and Twitter for all of that stuff. But anytime now, that's why I wish I could come on here and say, hey, guess what? This is when it's coming out. But
yeah,
soon enough, I suppose. Single will be out within a month, though, the next single. So we're shooting a video tomorrow for it.
Before I let you go, Kyle, will you care to do a promo for the show?
Absolutely. Hey, what's up? This is Kyle Pfeiffer from Blacklite District, and you are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody, stick around. We got some great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour. Thanks, Kyle.
Hey, thank you, man. I'll talk to you soon.
You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.